putting the spotlight on small businesses across America. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And good morning, Lincoln. You're listening to Inside Business. I was all ready to say good morning, Lincoln and Omaha, but the feed went down, and, that's radio.
Yeah.
That's just radio. So good morning, Lincoln, and good morning, Omaha next week, right?
There you go.
So you're listening to Inside Business, sponsored by Complete Family Dermatology and the Barry Law Group. I'm Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing, Gary Tharnish, Home Design Real Estate Group. And I realized as I'm reading that, going, we don't give enough love to ourselves as sponsoring the show. And my daughter is now selling a house. Of course, you are representing her.
Yeah.
And she was showing me all the stuff, because selling a house is like, it's a cardinal sin in my house. You never sell a house.
Buy them and rent them.
But I was blown away at all the work that you did. I mean, you guys, you put together, like, there's a real nice folder that shows the house.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of
Sure.
Usually when the crap holes that I go by, there's nothing there. Maybe a mask or something and some rubber gloves. But usually it's like a one sheet.
For example, listeners, there's houses he wants to see where I won't go into them without a hazmat suit. Like, are you serious? Offer for the price of the lot plus demolition, Travis.
Yeah. I think the last one we did, Gary unlocked the door, stepped aside and goes, well, come out and tell me what you think. And he just sat in his car.
Well, after COVID, I can't do mold. And that house was,
buddy,
there were stalactites.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
you guys did drone video. You did. And this is, what $180,000 house.
Yeah.
Nice house.
Oh, yeah,
very
definitely.
nice
For that
house.
price range, I show houses in that price range, which are normally like, let's offer for the lot, demolition, and that's what we're going to offer. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's a cute little house, but it's like I was blown away at all the work that you guys did, because I'm like, this thing's gonna sell.
Did you see the video?
Damn quick. I did see the video.
Yeah, so it's 208 West E Street in Elmwood, just to give you a little plug.
There you go.
But yeah, that video is really cool.
Yeah,
shows the house well. Well, your kids did an amazing amount of updating in 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Dream clients. I mean, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, and that's what happens too when Dad has,
right,
sheds full of tools and extra tile and everything else. We retiled everything, and
brother an electrician,
right,
husband HVAC guy,
and of course
we got it made.
We don't get a penny for all that, so that's all it's all nice upgrades without
you
without
love doing that for your kids.
I do. I really do. So, well, our guest today is Cameron Hall from Doors Plus. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
It's good to see you again, Cameron.
Yeah, thanks for having me out.
Yeah, catching
little
up.
Plug for Gary. He represented the builder that I worked for a while, and
for a couple of years. It was fun.
Oh, nice.
sold some
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah. What company was that?
New Haven.
Oh, New Haven.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's your dad's company,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, we can plug him for a minute. He's got New Haven, but he also does a ton of commercial.
Yeah.
What's the name of that company, right?
Constructive Enterprises.
Right.
He does commercial, and then they have a land development company called Blue Sky Development that they're doing some developments out in North Platte and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're heading up through Lincoln on the interstate and you hear that, and you're living in North Platte, go buy one of those places.
There you go.
Let's get them sold.
There you go. Well, Cameron, let's just kind of jump into Doors Plus and how you got into your company. Did you buy it? Did you start it?
Yeah. So, actually, it's one of my friends' stepdad. He's the one who initially started Doors Plus, and my buddy got invited to go to law school in Virginia, and he accepted. And the previous owner was like, "Look, I don't really think that I want to run a new company. I'm getting a little bit older. I've been there, done that. And so it's a great opportunity." And so he approached us and we bought the company.
Oh, nice. And when was that?
That was in 2023.
Okay.
So July of 23.
Time flies.
Yeah,
that seems like a year ago or something.
Coming up on 3 years already. I can't believe it, but
Yeah, I remember how excited you were when you got that.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Very good.
So did you always plan on like buying and starting a business? I mean, you have an entrepreneurial family.
Yeah. So I think that I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset and just been interested in being a business owner and, running companies, stuff like that. But I wasn't expecting it to be a garage door company.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think I'd ever be a florist either. Right, it's just weird where life takes you.
Yeah. But no, we're really happy to have the opportunity, and it's actually turned out to be a really unique. It's a unique industry, so there's a lot to it, and it was a big learning curve. I came from the home building side of things, and you see construction every day. You kind of know how a project flows, but then when you actually become a subcontractor, you're doing a very specific part of the job. It's got a little bit more complexities that you don't necessarily see from the 30,000 foot view.
Yeah.
Now you have a lovely wife named
Yes.
Sid, right?
My
And
wife,
two
Sydney.
kids.
Yes.
And is Sydney, does she go by Sydney? I call her Sid all the time.
Sydney. Yeah.
That's just an only you thing. I got to straighten up here. Like only my husband says Sid.
Yeah.
Anyway, is she working?
Yeah. So
Okay,
she
cool.
started, when we first started, she worked 5 days a week. Recently she's moved to be more part-time. So she's in Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And she does a lot of the accounting. So she has an accounting background. She came from working as an accountant for a public company. And so she handles all that for us and does a really great job with that. So
yeah. Well, and you've got a young one, so it's kind of nice. She'll probably be home.
Yes.
Too.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's a big event. When we started our company, Shannon was kind of did the stay-at-home mom thing, but was also starting the company and just ran it out of the basement, which that's how a lot of us started our companies.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Definitely. Yeah.
So when you bought this company, was it all that you do now? Was it just residential or just commercial or?
It was still kind of getting its footing, to be honest. I mean, it had only been in business for 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It was very new. I mean, they had some dealerships already set up, which you need in order to sell product. You have to have a dealership with the garage door manufacturer. And so they had that, and they had a couple of jobs that they had done or worked on. But other than that, really, there wasn't hardly anything there. And so we took it from the ground up and really marketed it, acquired more garage door, manufacturers that we can work with. And then I just leaned heavily on my relationships that I had made as a general contractor, whether that's with the commercial generals or with other builders, being involved with places like LIBA or with the Home Builders Association.
Sure.
So calling places like that. And the people that I knew and had made a relationship with to really get it kickstarted. And I was very, very fortunate to have had relationships with those people prior, because the calls were, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I own a garage door company now, and we're looking to expand and to get into more of your type of business. And their response was, well, you did a great job at New Haven. I don't see why we wouldn't give you a shot. And they let us in the door, and that we were really blessed to have that, because not everybody gets that experience.
Yeah, really. Well, and I think at the 6 month mark, most businesses, at least mine was, still hemorrhaging money. Right. So that's kind of a weird time to buy or sell a business. Absolutely. Because it's really not. Yeah, it's a business, but it's not a business. You know what I'm saying?
It's really like you started it from scratch almost.
Right.
I mean, 6 months isn't that long, definitely. And I thought it was much longer. I don't know why I thought that. You know why? Because I didn't really ask the question. Yeah. But anyway, I just kind of assumed, oh, you're buying this existing business. So
well, you saw how great it was right away. And you're like, man, this thing must have been going for a while.
It's like, ooh, you push a button and it works. I like this. Kids will love it.
Yeah.
It's a new game.
So when you jumped in, were you doing a lot of like repair work? Because I know you guys, because you did some repair work for me on one of my houses.
So we did some service at the beginning. A lot of it was actually commercial. So we started off with working with like my dad's company and doing some of their commercial garage doors, and then expanding into relationships with, Hampton or Hausman, Sampson, those guys that we knew, and we still do work for all of them. But at the very beginning, that was kind of what we had lined up. And we struggled for a little while because we wanted to break into the residential market more and acquire more builders, because those jobs, they're burn and turn a little bit faster. You go out and you install a residential door in a day, and you can bill for the project, get paid, move on. Commercial jobs, sometimes it takes, 3-4 months in order to complete the project, and then you go through the whole pay cycle.
Right.
And so at the beginning, we were kind of like, we really want to market for more residential work, and whether that's a builder or just a regular customer that isn't connected with a builder.
And I would imagine residential is probably a little bit more profitable.
Yeah.
Because commercial, when you start dealing in those massive volumes, then here come all the bids, and now it's all cutthroat. Where I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're probably looking for more of like a builder grade type door as opposed to something higher end.
Yeah, there's a lot of builders who are building that more entry level home. And for example, we do a lot of work in Omaha with D.R. Horton. That's a very, very builder grade, very entry level home, but they do a ton. And so it's a great contact for us. It's a great opportunity for us. But like you said, the ability for us to complete that job is much quicker, and our cost is less because the doors cost less. We get paid faster. It's like, it's a great opportunity, but we like the commercial stuff too.
And there's a lot of certainty in that, like with Dr. Horton, because they build the same type of home over and over again. So you know what kind of garage door it's going to be. It's kind of like you get 3 choices. This is it. I mean, Heartland and Remington do that, in Lincoln as well, that type of thing. So are we almost out of time?
Oh yeah, we're running out of time.
I want to ask you something about builders when we come back.
Okay. Well, I want to give a quick thanks to our sponsor, the Lincoln Airport. You know what? As I was walking into the studio today, I saw, the big poster on the Froggy Studio. They're doing like this trip giveaway, the Lincoln Airport and Breeze Airways.
I want that.
And it's like, wait a minute, though. I don't listen to Froggy. I listen to KLIN. And our listeners listen to KLIN. So I think we need to call Rachel and go, hey, what about a little something for the Inside Business radio show?
Okay, that's a tough one for me because I advertise on Froggy, so I really like Froggy. I don't know, I mean, just saying. No, but I get it. Yeah. Right. I love
so
her.
We're gonna. Where's the love? Come on, Rachel,
She's
help
awesome.
us out here. No, we love the Lincoln Airport, and I am excited about nonstops Lincoln to Vegas. That's awesome. That's gonna be fantastic.
One of my clients that went live this weekend are in Vegas for the weekend, and they drove to Grand Island to get the direct flight. So it'll be nice not to do that anymore.
We did that. Oh man, it had to be 10 years ago. But I think it was like Allegiant or something. Woo! Not to throw shade toward Allegiant, but they're flying some old iron, and it was kind of like traveling back in time almost. Flying that airline. It was fun, but that's a long drive.
We've got a trip to Vegas coming up for the International Door Association show, and I mean we're driving to Omaha and flying Southwest. We looked at Lincoln, and it's just the days you get out there that it didn't work for when the conference was, but look forward to trying it in the future.
Yeah, it's tough, and now we're going to go real long, but Southwest is not doing great, man. I have been a long time Southwest, and their customer service is gone. It's like, I don't know what happened to them, but
it's basically like flying another airline, and the other airlines have perfected that already.
Yeah, exactly. And all the things that made them unique. Your bags fly free, and they always had fun and kind of messed around, and it seems like now it's just corporate, and it's just another airline, which in business, man, if you get rid of your differentiating idea, now you're just down to compete.
Well, they're trying to take people's business, like my wife. She's a huge Delta lady, so she thoroughly enjoys Delta, and I was like, well, see, they took away all the things that we all love just so that they could earn your business. She's like, well, I'm still not going to fly them.
I love it. Crazy. Well, you're listening to Inside Business. I'm Travis Filing with Gary Tharnish, and we're talking with Cameron Hall from Doors Plus, and we're going to have more right after this break.
With Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And we're back on Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. This segment is sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers and Red Rhino Roofing. And we're talking with Cameron Hall from Doors Plus. So let's get into building the business. Sure. So when you kind of got in there, you have to have, like we were talking before, you have to have that differentiating idea. So what makes you different from all the other companies out there?
In our industry, price is a big thing. I mean, when you're dealing with builders or you're dealing with homeowners that have a lot of different options, price really does matter. something that separates Doors Plus is we manage the price on our end by putting our manufacturers in competition with themselves. So we're not just strictly AMAR or strictly Clopay, like where a lot of the companies around here have their one big manufacturer that they work with, and that's the price, and they go out and sell that door. We make them compete with each other to give us the best price so that we can pass that along to the customer.
That's
so
smart. Very much so.
Yeah, and then just we've added some recent additions to our staff, and our new sales manager has been in the industry for almost 40 years. And so between him and the experience that Sydney and I have, as well as the residential sales guy, I mean, we've got over 60 years of experience in the garage door industry, specifically in our office. And we can come up with just about anything you would want, whether it's the nicest, most expensive real wood stained doors, or if it's going to be just a builder grade like pan door, no insulation, but it goes up and down and it's going to work great and it's perfect for your home. All that experience, we can really talk about just about anything that you could ever want, and we'll win on price too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Well, no kidding.
Well, and it's good to be able to have multiple channels of doors, because I mean, business ebbs and flows for everybody.
That's right,
including manufacturers. So if manufacturer A is doing well and can't make the doors fast enough, and B is in the opposite direction, well, I imagine they're all relatively comparable to each other. So yeah, that's got to make it a lot easier. So what were the biggest challenges that you had early on?
I think just learning the industry myself was my biggest challenge. So coming from construction and coming from that background with that knowledge, and then diving into a part of the project that has so many moving parts, I had to learn that. And so I had to go on site with our guys. I had to, take training courses basically for garage door installers, even though I don't install the garage doors myself. Right. But I needed to know what I was selling. And when I got into the weeds, I realized, well, there's a lot more to this than what I really you can see from the outside.
Did you see did you hear what he did there? Did you hear that?
What?
The garage door company has a lot of moving parts. I thought that was pretty quick. Nobody else. I'm the only one that laughed inside, but anyway, I thought that was great. That's smart, because knowledge is power, right? And you kind of want to know everything. It's like the employee you have that we had someone on that was talking about their business, and some guy had started years ago from the bottom and worked all the way up. I mean, that's gold, right? Because they know every part of that business. So it makes great sense. And so your one salesman that you've hired is more commercial, the guy that has like 40 years of experience.
Yes. So the commercial,
that's a huge plus too.
Yes, absolutely. And when we were talking earlier about relationships, I mean, I have my relationships, but then he has his relationships that he's developed for 40 years.
Right.
And so he can pick up the phone and call, say, hey, I'm back in the garage door industry. Come to Doors Plus and work with us, and you'll get the same great service that you got before, just through a different company. And people love it. So we're really, really happy to have him.
Yeah, no kidding.
So when you were in the builder side, you guys didn't install your own garage doors there. You always hired that out.
Well, I actually hired the guy who is my commercial. No, he's my commercial sales manager now.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
Did he have a business at the time,
he did,
or he
yes.
just okay?
Yep.
And is he just kind of
decided? Well, he took a step away from that business and went and worked out at Stonebrook, actually. And then he's, I really kind of want to get back into the garage door thing, and we made it work. So brought him back in.
Cool.
So I always say I brought him over to the dark side, back to the garage door industry.
I love it. Right. His name's Darth, by the way.
Yeah, that's
right. That's too much. I love it.
So in your industry, because there are a lot of companies in your industry, where do a lot of people, a lot of other businesses fall short?
I think that in our industry, you're never going to be perfect. No install. I mean, not no installs. A lot of projects and things in the construction industry are not going to be 100% perfect the first time. And I think where our competitors fall short is their service to get that fixed is not top notch. It's like, oh, well, we have a 6-week lead time on anything we can do, so we'll come fix that in 6 weeks. That's not how we operate. We understand that when you pay for something and you're a builder, you're closing on a home and you go to test the door before closing and it doesn't work, that's an emergency. And so we will change our schedule and make sure we get out there right away to correct the inevitable errors. I mean, you have drywall guys in there, they take the back hangs down to put their drywall in. Well, it doesn't always get hooked back up correctly, or an operator that shorts out, or sometimes it literally just comes unplugged. Like those types of things that other people don't necessarily know how to fix, but they call us and they say, hey, we just bought this, or we're moving in, can you come out and get that fixed? And we'll move our schedule around to make sure that if you trust us with your project, we'll come out to make sure that it's done correctly and in a great time period too.
And by the time your product is in, by the time the garage door is in, needs to work.
That's right.
Yeah. So I can't wait 6 weeks because you're probably close to
one of the last things that happens on a house. I mean, that is changing now. Actually, in Omaha, they're requiring doors to be put on prior to initial electrical inspections.
Oh, geez, that's weird.
Yeah, it's strange, and I think it needs to change, to be honest. But we'll lobby with the city of Omaha.
Well, I hear the music in the background, and this one's a hard break. So I want to give a quick thanks to our sponsor, Mendoza Family Insurance. They're one of those agencies that actually picks up the phone when you call them, and they know you by name. Home, auto, business, they help you understand what you're buying and not just sell you a policy. So check them out, MendozaFamilyInsurance.com. That's MENDOZA FamilyInsurance.com. You're listening to Inside Business. I'm Travis Filing. That's Gary Tharnish. And today we're talking with Cameron Hall at Doors Plus. And right after the break, it's 5 takeaways time. So stick around for that.
No excuses, no safety nets, just business. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
We're back on Inside Business. Gary Tharnish, Travis Filing, and we're talking with Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. This segment sponsored by Western National Bank, online at WNB.com. And it's time for 5 takeaways. This is where we get 5 things our listeners can apply to their business today or Monday if you're enjoying Easter.
That's right.
Cameron, what's the first piece of knowledge that you have that either you kind of wish you had day one or that you can share with somebody?
I think the first thing that I thought about and wrote down here was honesty is everything. So being honest with your customers, if say it's a delay, the manufacturer lets you know, hey, we can't get that, it's back ordered. Your natural human response is to try and make up some sort of an excuse to make the customer feel like, oh, maybe it's not as much a fault. No, just tell them the truth. Be honest. Yeah. Tell them what's going on. And that goes a long way. They don't want you to just blow smoke all day and pretend like, oh, my company's perfect and nothing could ever possibly happen. Everybody knows that we're all human and we're not perfect. So just be honest about it.
And also then later on, you have to remember what you said.
Yeah,
because you said the truth and you know you have the knowledge of what the truth is. You know, we've talked about this before on the radio, but in the 70s and 80s, it was really big. God, I'm so young. And it was really big to do, they called it the business white lie. Oh, you just kind of do that because, you want to make your client happy. And I'll never forget when I was at the shop in college that I ended up buying, that one day I was like, hey, this person's calling, they wonder why their flowers aren't there. And they're like, just tell them they're on the way. And I'm like, oh, okay. It was a pretty big operation. I said, well, they're on their way. When will they be there? Oh, they should be there. They'll be there within half an hour. Hang up. And they're like, what was that person's name? Da, da, da. Well, in the end, nobody could find the order.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Yeah. They're like, call them back. I'm like, hey, how about you call them back?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was, right there is a perfect example, but that is huge for people. You know what? It's easy to deal with what you know, and it's just the truth. I always think too, in real estate, when I have to give you have to give somebody some bad information. If you at least have a little bit of a solution before you call.
That's right.
Exactly.
Like, hey, we called, this was where the problem was. And I know when I've owned up to things, it actually develops much more trust.
Yeah,
it does.
Right. Even because we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, like Omaha didn't even air our show today.
That's right.
It happens.
And they basically talk to them and they go, here's what happened. We had the rain delay with the baseball game because they carry baseball up there. And they're like, something must have happened with it. And it's like, okay, that's fine.
Somebody didn't push a button.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll be around.
Happens.
So yeah. And there's no hard feelings. It's
Yeah.
just the way it goes, man. That's business. So what's that second piece of advice that you want to share with everybody?
I just put asking for advice is important. Rely on people who've been in the industry for a long time, whether that's a mentor. It can even be your competition. I mean, going to shows like the International Door Association or going up to Troy, Ohio for just a dealer meeting, and being able to ask people who are in the industry and have been in the industry for a long time, it's not new. They've dealt with the problem this is the first time you're dealing with it. They're like, oh, I've dealt with that 100 times. Like, this is what I've done. And you just kind of ask. So I just think when you expand and you reach out and you ask people their opinion or for advice, and you just take it and put it all together, it really helps. I mean,
yeah, you find with a lot of businesses, I mean, I was never this way, but a lot of my competition was early on is that there's no peer talk. Like, don't talk to your peers and your competition because,
Right.
oh my gosh, or even, and it kind of carried over to your suppliers as well, where, that wasn't a common thing to do. It's definitely a failure I did in my business early on in the 80s. Because I grew up in a family where my dad was always like, you don't need to ask, you deal with it, take care of it yourself. And,
Right.
that's always how it was. So I still find asking for help is not natural for me.
Yeah. And I think one thing, and I struggle with this, but Shannon is excellent at it, is talking to the employees. I mean, the employees are in our industry too,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and they have experience, sometimes they come up with ideas, but you have that same thing.
Right.
It's the, I'm the boss. These are, I don't want someone to think I don't have all the answers. I want them to think I have all the answers. Well, guess what? I don't have all the answers. And sometimes they have, more oftentimes than not. They got great ideas.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
Shannon's great at asking questions. She's like a 3-year-old without the why.
Yeah.
And I mean that positively,
Yeah.
Shannon, because I know you're listening. You know I
Yes.
love you. That's a good one, though, because that's how you learn. Or you were talking about knowledge is power, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you can find out so much by just asking those questions.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
and
very humbling.
they've experienced things and they've fallen into traps or had pitfalls along the way. Well, if you ask them, they're more than happy to say, well, hey, just look out for this kind of thing. And if you see that coming, just give me a call and then we can help talk you through it, or this is how we navigated it. And so learning from their mistakes almost, but we don't actually have to have the mistake happen. I mean, sometimes it will still, but it's great.
Before we go to number 3, put you on the spot with a question. Are black garage doors more expensive than white? If so, why?
They are.
You know?
I don't know.
It's so weird to me.
The thing that seems weird to me is black garage doors are more expensive than brown garage doors, white garage doors, gray. Like any of the standard colors that the manufacturer offers is one price. But if it's black, it's 10% more, no matter what.
I have people ask about that all the time. The only thing I can think is that white is the absence of all color. So you would have a lot less paint mixture. Black is all colors. Like if you take 25 paints and mix them together, you'll have black. So that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said to people before, I don't know if this is why, but my guess is. I just wonder. It just seems odd.
Well,
it is. Odd.
And what's crazy, like we put new windows in Peyton's house, and she wanted to do black windows, just the plastic on the outside edge because it would fit better. And she's like, "Can we do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. That's easy." So I go on and I get ready to order windows, and they were like 50% more. And I'm like,
it's wild.
Hold on,
it is wild. Yeah.
Why? Yeah, it was bizarre. I couldn't believe it. So
I think the black trend will kind of go away as far as it's very modern and hip right now, to have black windows and garage doors and gutters and so, all that stuff. But to be 100% honest with you, they warp way easier than white doors. They take in all that heat. It's just metal.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know what else? They show dirt more than white.
Absolutely.
And who would
do.
ever think that? But they show more dirt than white. Anyway, all right, people.
Yeah.
No more black. We're out. We're
It's
moving
the
on.
same as a black car. There's nothing more beautiful than a black car. And
That's
has
clean,
someone
but
who's
my truck's
owned it.
never clean.
Oh, never.
Exactly.
And you see every ding and
That's
dent and
right.
scratch.
You do.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. I will never own another black vehicle.
Anyway, I just had to ask because
No,
I get
it's-
asked that a lot about garage doors, and they're like, especially in the build process, and they're like, oh, that's so much percentage more, and they're like, for a black garage door, what's the difference? The color, but
yeah,
interesting. Well, what's your third takeaway?
So relationships drive growth. Relying on the builders and contractors and how critical they are to really being able to grow as a business. I mean, you need to ask their opinions. You need to just have a relationship with them because they're the ones that are bringing the projects to the table 90% of the time. And so I would say, if you don't do anything, spend time with the people that bring the projects and make a good relationship, build that trust, show them that you are willing and able to make what they need to happen, or at least do your very best to do it, and you'll earn business.
Yeah. And I think that goes too with suppliers, vendors, build those relationships there as well, because I think if you have that relationship and you have a struggle, you have a problem you're looking for, they're going to call, they're going to talk to you, they're going to work with you. Man, if that relationship's not there, buy it or don't buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, people have to know, like, and trust you, but it kind of has to go in that order. First, they have to know who you are. Right. When they meet you, they have to like you. If they like you, you can always build the trust.
Right.
People in general kind of think it's a little opposite, like, how do I get people to trust me? That's the wrong approach. Just be likable. Don't jump into, when you first meet somebody, oh, hi, Cramden, I'm Gary Tharnish. I sell houses if you ever need to buy or sell one.
Right.
You're gonna be like, well, okay, Mr. like whoever you are, right? You need to just build that, and just simple telephone calls. How are you doing today? And you're likable. So, I mean, that helps, right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, I mean, sometimes you meet people that do great at their business, but like, how are you doing today? Good. How's business going? Pretty well. I mean, it's not that you dislike that, but it's kind of like, I'm talking to Eeyore.
Right.
Let's move along here.
Yeah. Well, and that, relationship building kind of ties into your first two takeaways as well.
Yeah.
It's like, be authentic, be genuine, be honest. And that's going to make it a heck of a lot easier to build relationships with people.
Yeah.
So what's that? Are we down to number 4 now? What's your fourth takeaway?
Moving along.
So execution beats marketing. Word of mouth and having a good quality install and a good quality product is going to go far beyond what I pay Shannon to put on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if Gary goes, we put a garage door on his house and his neighbor's garage door breaks, and they say, hey, who did your door? And if he's like, well, it sucked, so I wouldn't recommend the person that I use, they're never going to call me.
Right.
But if we do a great job for Gary and he says, oh yeah, Cameron Hall at Doors Plus, you give them a call, they'll come out, they'll take care of it. Your recommendation to them, because they know, like, and trust you, is way better.
Way more important.
Just them seeing something on
and
Facebook.
Then the relationship of that right there is real important too. Like, I'm at Centers for Group, and I refer people in our group, and we've talked about it before in our group, that it's like, every time you refer somebody, it's a risk a little bit to your brand and reputation also, right? If it doesn't follow through. So it's important to be memorable. We talk about that all the time for the right reasons. Right. Be memorable for the right reasons. Because if it's the wrong reasons, they're not going to know you. And I mean, I can't, you think back through life, how many decisions you made from referrals? It's a ton. You have to have the marketing out there, so you're getting the masses and sending a message out, but it's your marketing bridge, right? I mean, you can market all sorts of stuff. It starts you over the bridge. People know who you are. They meet you. You put, not you, but the other company puts a garage door in, and then it's not working. Like, we'll be out there in 6 weeks and they forget, and then it's 8 weeks. Now they're memorable for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
That's a good takeaway.
We've always told people marketing is just a catalyst, right? If you're, and I know this is kind of a visual, but like, if your business is doing good and it's in this good upward trajectory, marketing is just going to push that line to a steeper angle. But if your business is not doing good, marketing is going to help. It's going to push it to a steeper decline because it's going to get more people to come in and realize this is not a good company, or I'm having problems. So I mean, without a doubt, execution beats marketing, because marketing is just going to accelerate whatever your execution is, good or bad. So when we sit down with new clients, we kind of dig into their reviews and take a look, and it's like, okay, you have 80 reviews out there and 40 of them are 1 star.
Right.
you're not going to be happy with the results of marketing. The phone will ring, but it's just going to accelerate you into the ground if these are genuine problems.
If you can't perform, maybe don't take on the extra work.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, our buddy Jeff Dossel is the first one that talked to me about the marketing bridge.
Yeah.
And I already wasted a ton of money, going, I mean, like I do a live ad on the radio show right before 8, but, and I advertise some special for the day. And then I'd forget to tell my staff, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be there till 8:30.
Yeah.
And if you have phone calls, I mean, it could be something that simple, it just, you have to really think about the whole picture, but being memorable is top for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So important.
Yeah, definitely. So what's that last piece of advice that you want to share?
I just put, trades are a massive opportunity. There's a huge opportunity in all of the trades, whether that's HVAC, plumbing, garage doors, siding, roofing, everything.
No kidding.
I mean, we have, as Gary knows, I mean, we need more housing in Lincoln.
Yep.
Somebody needs to build them. Well, they need partners to build those houses. And I just feel like everybody has a garage door pretty much, whether you rent, own, anything. Likely in the Midwest, you have a garage door. And so there's a big opportunity because it needs to be serviced at least once a year in order to keep it running correctly, or your springs are going to break, or time for an upgrade. The garage door has the highest return on investment out of any home project. I think that's according to the National Builders Bureau or something like that. I can't remember the exact source, but it's like 196% ROI if you install a new garage door on your house.
Wow.
I did not know that. But, as you just said that, my thought was how many times I'm showing someone a house and we were looking in the garage and everything, and they push the garage door button and it doesn't go up, or they push it and it's making this horrible noise.
Absolutely.
And it's just, it's an adverse fact that really does turn them off. I mean, we park what, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 vehicles in our garages. I mean, it's like,
well, and we're in the Midwest, we're so garage forward facing. You go down to Florida or stuff, they have like the carports or they're off to the side or something. But here, the first thing you see when you pull up to a house is going to be the garage door, and because it's just massive and it's right there in your face. You want it to look nice. You want to have that curb appeal, and people really like it.
So talking about garage doors, curb appeal, it's the first thing you see. What is your least favorite garage door and why?
Plain basic short raised panel, because everybody has them. I'm like, oh man, you could do.
So tired of this.
Yeah, just do a long raised panel. It doesn't cost any more money and it just looks nicer. Boom, there you go. I mean, that's the kind of stuff when people come into the showroom, they're like, oh well, I'll just go with the standard. It's like, oh, you can get one that looks nicer and people are going to actually notice, and it's not going to cost you any more money.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh well, why wouldn't we do that?
And people do notice that when I'm driving around, like take just Grandview area, for example, and you're driving around out there and they'll be like, oh, look at those garage doors are cool. So people do notice it. They're all the same. And that one's really cool.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is.
We went and looked at a house for Peyton, and they had the magnetic things on it, but they weren't like lined up, and one was on an angle. And then they painted windows, like the little 4 window panes at each. And they must have been drunk when they did it, because you kind of roll up and you're like, you don't notice it right away, but in the back of your brain, you go, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out what's wrong. And then pretty soon you start looking and go, those windows are on an angle. Wait a minute, those aren't windows. That's black paint. What's going on here?
Well, I showed like a $600,000 house yesterday. And honestly, when you pull up, like you were saying, the majority of the front of the house are garage doors,
right.
2 18-foot garage doors. And then over here's the entry and just a little bit of stone, but really it is what you see. So it's kind of cool when it's something different.
Yeah. And when it's bad, it's almost like somebody missing a front tooth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It's like, if it's a bad, that's all you see, the pimple, the missing tooth, whatever it is, that's all you see. Well, that was 5 takeaways. And I just want to give a quick shout out for, if you guys want to be a guest on our show on Inside Business, we would love to have you. We're going to be in Omaha next week, so be on both stations. We want to know your story, and if you know somebody who'd be a great guest, go to our website, insidebusinessradio.com, fill out the form. While you're on our website, you can also click our social media, check out our YouTube, our LinkedIn, our Facebook. And while you're on Facebook, if you go today, wish Nika a happy birthday. Nika is our internal. She does all our social media. She does our posts. She does all the reels, the short clips. She does everything. We really wouldn't have much of a show without her. She does so much for this show.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Nika. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm sure she's not listening because she gets enough you and me Monday through Friday. But
she might clip that happy birthday, we love you, and put that on the reel.
There we go.
So
yeah,
you might have got something for it, Travis.
Put that, Nika, and put it on a reel.
That's a good idea.
We love you. We appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful birthday. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. And when we come back, we've got Unexpected Impact. So stick around for that.
Filing and Gary Tharnish.
Thanks for sticking with us. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. This segment sponsored by the UPS stores. And we're talking with Cameron Hall at Doors Plus. And it's time for Unexpected Impact. And I love this because usually, like 95% of the time, we do Unexpected Impact. It's something bad that happened.
Yeah.
But that's business, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you think of an unexpected impact as something bad, and Cameron brought us something good.
Yes.
Yay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So let's hear about what's going on good at Doors Plus.
So, actually, it was a week and a half ago now. We had just gotten back from vacation, and I was coming in on, you get in at 2:00 in the morning, you wake up to go to work the next morning. You're like, oh man, you're tired, but you're a small business owner. So you got to get up and you got to, like the intro this morning, late nights, early mornings, whatever it is. Well, I got a call and they're like, hey, this is so-and-so from the U.S. Small Business Administration in Washington, D.C. Do you have a minute to chat? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm awake, right?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And he was like, just wanted to let you know that somebody you worked with over this last year nominated you to be the small business persons for Sydney and I for the state of Nebraska, recognized by the Small Business Administration, and you won. And so we are the Nebraska the state small business persons of the year, and we're going out to DC in May, and we're in the running to win the national small business persons of the year, and potentially the president might be there to recognize us. So we'll see. That might be interesting.
Oh, that's a nice gosh, finally, not only is it a nice one, it's a really cool one.
We have Cameron. He's the best.
Yeah.
We love him. I mean, he can't install a garage door like I can, but
hey, people can actually
awesome.
see you. They know you have the wrong color of hair there.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good. I would say that's pretty good well, that's cool. Do you know who nominated you?
Yeah, so we worked with we worked with a guy down at UNL who helps with the Small Business Administration, and he actually put together some loan packaging stuff for us, and so he's the one that nominated us.
That's so
cool. Awesome.
Which was interesting because I actually had never met him in person. I've only communicated with him via email, and he was apparently very impressed with probably Sydney's work, honestly, because she does all the accounting stuff and the numbers and all that. But he's like, I just want to nominate you guys, and it worked. So
that's awesome. I remember Shannon was up for it was a national award. It might have been similar or the same.
Yeah.
But we ended up going to St. Louis, and it was surreal. It's like we were the top selection for the state, and we went down and met Damon Johns, and
that's cool.
It didn't end up winning, but it was just an honor to be nominated, that people thought of your business.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic.
Well, just the impact. I mean, they recognize all the job creators and innovators, and there's over 36 million small businesses in the United States. And
isn't that crazy? To
be picked out one of 50 at least, or
top
50 of 36 million. I mean, it's quite the honor. And
that's cool.
I don't know. I did not expect to be sitting here at 27 years old, business that's almost 3 years old, and winning that award. So I'm very blessed and feel.
I really feel old now, 27. My goodness.
Oh, everybody in this room can quit whining about age right now. I've got to contact Medicare at some point in the next 2 months and tell them I don't really need it right now. So, and that's a mess.
So do you think, I mean, can you like pinpoint anything that you did that really set you apart to have somebody nominate you for this?
You know, I think that just them seeing the history, obviously they got to see like our internal numbers when they did the loan packaging stuff. And so they could see where the company was when we bought it, which was in a hole of almost $400,000. And within 1 year, Sydney and I turned that around to a good profit. Actually in 6 months, because we bought it in a hole, we turned it around, in 6 months we had made money. And so that was good. And then they got to see that along with the continued growth and the path of year 2. And then last year we had a record year. So I think that them just being able to see the trajectory and to see where we're going, I think that they understand, or I don't know. I think that set us apart.
That's awesome.
The two of you got you there, but also look at your 5 takeaways from the previous segment. That got you there too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all top-notch takeaways, and it's everything. You know, you have to have all sides of the business covered.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I'm trying to think of what is there anything like who votes on it? Is it just a group of people?
I'm actually not sure. I know that I'm sure that they work in the Small Business Administration. So I would imagine, and I think that they just review it. And so now I think her name's Kelly Loeffler. She's basically a cabinet member. I think she's the one that's going to pick the national winner.
Interesting.
So that would be
nice.
So when you go, do you have to give a presentation, talk about the business, anything like that?
They told us to prepare a speech. If you win first runner or second runner up, you'll give a speech there. So
yeah, because I remember Shannon had to give a speech of some sort, which it was so interesting because she used to get really nervous about public speaking. It's like, hey, relax, man. This is a good
You've
thing.
already won.
Yeah, you're already here.
Yeah. She's a good public speaker.
She is. She's great now.
You know,
She's
actually,
really
the first time I hear her speak was at a business luncheon. And you know, I'm paying thorough attention. That's not really true because I'm sanguine. So I'm kind of like all over the map. I'm sure I was talking to 4 or 5 people. And all of a sudden I heard my name and then I'm listening. And I'm like, oh my God, she's telling a story about. I had this boss one time that
at a flower shop.
This is what happened. And I'm like,
that's gotta be me.
Actually, it was a good thing. But it was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh, fantastic.
You know,
well, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but when it comes to public speaking, and I've mentioned this before, but Warren Buffett and Bill Gates spoke to the graduating class of people receiving their doctorates in business at Creighton University. There were 40 of the students that were brought in, and collectively they could ask one question in writing and turn it in ahead of time. So there was a mediator talking the whole time. The students just basically listened. But the one question they had was, what is the number one thing skill that we should have going into the business world now that we're graduating? And they both said public speaking. Wow. Being able to speak is a huge thing in front of people. Makes sense.
A friend of mine that when we graduated high school, he went to college for communications. And I'm like, what are you going to do with a communications degree? Not that it didn't sound bad, but you just go, what do you do with communications? He goes, Travis, think about it. Everything is communications. Mm-hmm. Sales is communications, customer service, running a business, whatever it is, it's all communications. And if you're a good speaker and you're comfortable around people, it's just going to accelerate you in the business world. And of course, now he's a big business owner and doing well. And I should have went that direction instead of aviation. So there, because I'm on the radio, you know, making $5 an hour, and he's a big rich business owner, right? Because we're all rich. I don't know. Well, we have a break coming up here. I want to give a quick shout out to Integrated Behavioral Health Services, and we appreciate them sponsoring the show. They provide compassionate professional behavioral health services, helping individuals and families navigate challenges and build healthier futures. Integrated Behavioral Health supports people with counseling and behavioral services that help improve focus, stability. I need help with the focus. I'm telling you, as you can tell, I can't even read this script without you squirrel. But check them out, ibhealthservices.com. We appreciate them. And you're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. Today we're talking with Cameron Hull of Doors Plus, and we'll have more right after this break.
With Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And we're back on Inside Business, sponsored by Wyuka Cemetery and 6-to-6 Auto Repair. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with Cameron Hull of Doors Plus. And it's time for This Needs an Adjustment, sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic. Business is all about constant adjustment. Nothing ever works 100% according to plan, and sometimes you need to make a shift. Cameron, tell us something about, in your business that you had to make a shift in it that was just kind of caught you by surprise, or just something was going in the wrong direction?
I think at the very beginning, I didn't know what I didn't know, and that was kind of scary to be in. And so I had a team of installers at that point that I think that they knew that I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I needed to make an adjustment to, one, gain knowledge myself, but then not allow my lack of knowledge at the beginning to continue to impact jobs. So I'd get calls, hey, this is how we used to do it at the old company, and it's just not right. So we're just going to come back to the shop. And I'd be like, okay, I don't know. I guess that doesn't seem right to me, but I don't know any better. So I really did have to learn and rely on other people to say, hey, how do you manage your installers on jobs like this? Or what's your expectation about how fast that they should be doing a job like this? Because I didn't even know how long to schedule them for. Mm-hmm. At the beginning, I'd put way too many things on the schedule and we'd never get it. And then I'd have upset customers because we didn't make it there when we said we were going to. Or they'd be back by 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I didn't have anything else on the schedule. And then I'd send them home and then I'd have upset installers. Well, we're not getting paid enough money, yeah. That kind of stuff. So that really needed an adjustment right away at the beginning. And even currently now, I mean, coming off of the COVID times and coming off of the huge inflationary periods that we had seen over the last couple of years, now pricing needs an adjustment and things are starting to, even out, and it's not as easy to just throw out whatever price you want to make on something. And somebody's like, okay, that makes sense because it's COVID, or, that makes sense. We're seeing all this inflation. So I think we are constantly adjusting and seeing, what our competitors are bidding stuff on and what price point we need to be at. So a lot of things.
And that's so important. You really have to immerse yourself in your business's craft. You have to understand all the facets that go into it. I mean, I remember when I came to work for Shannon, I sold radio for 10 years. I know everything there is to know about marketing. Well, then you start getting into it and you go, okay, you look at a layout or something, this needs to move here and here's some negative space or whatever. And then I started realizing, I went back and I was watching a graphic designer make some changes. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot that goes into this. And it kind of starts getting you rethinking the process because it's like, well, every little change takes a lot of time, and it helps you with pricing. It helps you with, setting your customers up so that they understand, if we do this and you want to make changes, we can. Here's the cost. It really is crucial.
Yeah. Well, and in general, prices are stabilizing, all around. I mean, we see a lumber chart once a month at work in our sales meeting, and just you saw what it did from 2019 to 2022, maybe into 23, and now how much that's stabilized. But then you turn around and, I'm sure your dad with construction sees it now. Cement is the one that's going up, and you just kind of never know what it's going to be. I remember seeing one of the realtors at work in 22, I think it was, running around freaking out because she needed this occupancy for her client's house. And there was a shortage for all the pulls, cabinet pulls.
Yeah.
They couldn't. And so she ended up going to Lowe's, Menards, everywhere, and bought They didn't even match. But in order to get the permit, right? I mean, you have to have all these little things done. And it was just crazy, you know, and a lot of that has stabilized now.
Yeah.
I think there was a big fear of all the tariff stuff and what that might do. Has that affected your business at all? You know, I think there was like a lot more fear than reality of that. But obviously, I don't know all facets of different types of businesses. Was that anything that ever affected you?
I think that the tariff thing that really impacted us was our operators. So we generally sell LiftMaster operators, which are manufactured in Canada.
Okay.
And so when we started talking about the tariffs and all of that with going back and forth with Canada, we got a letter from LiftMaster and from our manufacturers saying, hey, just so you know, if the tariffs go up 25%, your price is going up 25%, period. And that freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, ooh, they're already expensive, and people already talk about, man, you know, I used to be able to buy an operator for $500, and now the cheapest operator you sell is almost $700. And it's like, yeah, I mean, things have gone up, but then to try and add 25% on top of that, luckily it never happened.
Yeah,
so
it all worked out.
So everything was fine. But yeah, they were ready to pull the trigger and put that price increase on us, and that would have been, I don't know. I mean, people would have probably had to adjust, but I think it would have taken a little bit of time, and it might have hurt the business a little bit.
Yeah, and that's in instances like that, there's nothing you can do,
right,
except, you know, going back to one of your takeaways, just be honest with them.
Right.
Here's where it's at.
Yeah.
This is the state of affairs that we're dealing with.
I think the way we adjusted to that is when we started buying our operators by the pallet, and so we have hundreds of operators in the shop, so that if we get into that situation again, at least I have a nice stockpile,
nice cushion
of what I have, and can slowly make that adjustment rather than just be overnight, boom, 25% more. And I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. See, and that's something we've done in our real estate company is, you know, when you go to the store and you see tile on sale or something like that, just get it, pile it up, put it in storage somewhere. If you have the ability, obviously.
Right.
And man, the price of tile, the price of whatever is going through the roof. Well, I'm good because I got a warehouse. You know, I have a couple thousand square feet, but it's like, it's handy. If you can do that, do it. And if you can't do that, start thinking about, as far as how your business is structured, to get yourself to a point where you can do that.
Yeah,
because it's only going to save you money in the long run.
Right. Well, and you know, there'll be people that say, "Oh, tariffs were a lot of fear about nothing," you know. But like, my son is CEO of a international chocolate company in Berkeley, California, and like, all their marketing, all the chocolate is wrapped in rice paper that can only come from China. Nobody in the United States produces it. So he's like, I'm backing up with chocolate because I don't have anything to put it in, you know. I mean, and it was a temporary challenge, but it was a challenge.
Yeah.
You know? I just wondered if it really affected garage doors. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Because certainty is everything in business, right? Like, if you're making chocolate, you want to be able to package it.
Well, and when a price change happens and it's a major price shift, you know, it's
what it is.
It's hard to swallow. It's kind of like Peyton right now looking for houses, and a starter level 3-bedroom house is dang near $300,000. And I sit there and go, man, when I was getting into real estate, I could have bought 5 houses for $300,000.
Okay, all right. You still can.
I could have bought 15.
Travis. The houses. He buys the ones that you just think, are you serious? And then he turns it into gold. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, we're going to head to another break here. And This Needs an Adjustment was sponsored by my chiropractor, Ascend Chiropractic. Great group of people over there. You know when you need an adjustment in your business and in your body. So do it before things get out of hand. Total Chiropractic care for adults and pediatrics. Rehabilitation, acupuncture, cupping, weight loss. The list goes on and on. To see their list of services or to schedule an appointment, go online to ascendchiropracticne.com. You're listening to Inside Business. Gary Tharnish, Travis Filing. We're talking with Cameron Hall of Doors Plus today, and we'll have more right after this break.
Tharnish.
It's the last segment of Inside Business, sponsored by Lincoln Coin and Bullion. I did not
it.
read. I said it right. I'm so excited. Anyway, Gary Tharnish, Travis Filing, and we've been talking with Cameron Hall of Doors Plus this morning, which has just been a pleasure. In this last segment, we just kind of want to toss you the keys, Cameron, and talk about Doors Plus. tell us what's on the horizon for your company. You know, where are you headed? How are things going?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest thing for us right now that we have just dived into is we actually opened a second company called Next Gen Door Distribution, which is a wholesale side of the company. And so we're going to be targeting people like, lumber yards, tailgaters, which are guys who know how to install garage doors. Maybe that's not their whole business. Even maybe just some other smaller garage door companies that don't want to go through the hassle of filling out credit apps and trying to get a dealership with a specific manufacturer. So we've got it. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they can call us and we can sell them. Amar is the company that we're wholesaling for. And yeah, basically our shop is transforming. So we are starting to have a lot more stock, which, as a business owner, that makes you a little nervous. Sometimes you see all that money sitting out in the shop. But
that you're excited. Paying interest on.
Yeah. So when did you start that?
So we actually we secured the pricing last year. We officially launched the QuickBooks and website in January. And then we're just now starting to really have all the marketing pieces created, going out and selling it.
And going after that business. So tailgaters, I was like, when you said that, I'm like, what? Like, I don't ever see a garage door on a tailgate. Yeah. So that's what they're called, tailgaters? Yes. I've never heard that phrase before. Yeah.
So basically, they run their business from the tailgate of their truck, and
there we go. Got it. Have you heard of it before?
Never
I had
heard of it.
Great. Now I always like the association of that. Okay, I can remember that.
But I think what's good though with being a wholesale company is you're going to have stock, which there's ups and downs of it, but also if there's somebody out there who I need it now.
That's right.
But here's what I have.
Yes.
And so you can we can have this thing to you in an hour.
And it helps. I mean, if we ever, God forbid, experience the slowdown of manufacturing like we did during COVID, like we'll have stock. We'll be able to continue to work until hopefully the supply chain catches up and can get us some more stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
all your eggs aren't in one basket.
Yeah.
That's right.
And oddly enough, I mean, when you do have stock, the price goes up in the future. So if you're sitting on a couple of doors and you don't really want to hold on to them for a long term, but you have them.
Right.
And that can be a gift as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you never know how the economy is going to bounce.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. And we think there's going to be a really good opportunity for us to, we have obviously always been focused on our business and our customers and contractors, but now we can actually help other garage door companies in the community as well, that they can help service their customers. And so it's nice.
So is it are you really focused on Lincoln or is it beyond?
So I think as far as Doors Plus goes, our next big strategic step that we're looking at is potentially moving out west. There's not a lot of competition out there as far as other companies, and there's a lot of need and a lot of growth. We've been taking jobs in McCook and North Platte and Scottsbluff. Like, they're far away. And granted, they will still pay the trip charge for us to come out from Lincoln. But if we could open an office, say in North Platte, and be able to service the western half of the state from a location there, I think that there's just massive opportunity and we could really earn a lot of business. So I wouldn't say I have like a 2-year plan or anything like that, but it's been in the back of my mind and something that we're hoping to grow. And I always tell Sydney, I said, someday there's going to be a big skyscraper that has Doors Plus's logo on it. And I've always told her I want to move somewhere warm, but I said maybe it'll be in Orlando or something. But
get a heliport on it.
Yeah.
Those aren't so cool.
I think though it's pretty smart because living in a small town, I mean, we're really not. Panama is from the studio 44th and O. I can get to my house in a half an hour.
Yeah.
So we're not that far away. But trying to get people to come out to these small towns, it's impossible.
Think it's an international flight or something.
Exactly. And if I need something done, I will literally call 10 people to get 2 people to show up.
Right.
And then of those 2, I'll get 1 bid. Well, guess who's getting the business?
Right.
And that's it's bizarre because it used to be you called 10 people. for a bid, and you'd get 12 bids out of it, because it's like somebody slipped and told somebody else, and next thing you know, you get a phone call, and it has changed.
Yeah.
So there's massive, because when Gary asked that question, my first thought is, oh, well, he's going to go to Omaha and compete up there. And when you said out west, I'm like, that's a smart move.
Yeah,
that's really
definitely
a smart move.
And especially having a place out there is just, strategically makes an awful lot of sense as well. I want to circle back to something you talked about in one of the previous segments. And because in real estate, selling homes, doors, every home has a door. Well, hopefully they have garage doors and they have a garage. But was the maintenance, because when I visit people on listing appointments, I'll always say, hey, if you have a magic wand and money was no thing, what would you fix on the house? What would you change anything? Sure. And it's great because it matters who says it, right? And they'll always bring up stuff, but very little discussion of garages. And a lot of times, you go to open it and it sounds like, a war battle or something, like, and it's just terrible. So you said people, like, it's just wise to have your garage door service. Did you say like once a year?
Yeah, oil service and adjust once a year.
Once a year.
Actually, on new doors, especially commercial, it's very important. But in order for the manufacturer to stand behind their warranty, you have to adjust it. There's oil service and adjust it at least once a year.
Oh, interesting.
And so that has not been something that anybody in this area has really communicated with general contractors. So we've picked up a lot of business and call them, say, hey, we're coming up on the 1 year mark of when we turned this project over to you. You need to get us on the schedule for an oil service and adjust if you want to keep the warranty. And it's not like the manufacturer's always going to say, no way, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, but if they have it in 6 years or or whatever. I don't know how long the warranty is.
And the other nice thing about what we offer is we'll come out there. If it's your home, you're a residential door, it's $100, $99 for us to come out. Yep. We oil, we service it, we adjust anything that needs to be adjusted. And then say if anything breaks on your door in the next year, after we've been there to adjust it, you're going to get 10% off any parts. Just because you had us come out. And parts and pieces are expensive, so it's very, very easy to spend $1,000 on parts, pieces, and stuff. If your door breaks, well, you just earned your oil service and adjust for free. Saving the 10%.
Well, and garage doors is one of those things that it's like once it's working, you do kind of forget about it until you hit the button and the spring is busted and you go, why isn't I got to get out of here, man? My car is trapped.
That's right.
Yeah. That's pretty important.
Well, I've had some people that'll be like, oh, do you think the spring is broken? Yeah, I can get that fixed this week. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You ever even just picked up a spring? Those things are not light.
Not light.
The tension is.
They're dangerous.
You need to know what you're doing.
Yes.
And I'm looking at them going, oh, no. Because we're going to need you to sign this document at closing. And you could lose it. I mean, it's seriously.
Oh, yeah. There's crazy. A lot of energy because I look, because I'm a do-it-yourselfer. Right. And this was probably 6 or 7 years ago. The spring on one of our garages broke. And I'm like, oh, there's got to be a YouTube channel out there. And it's like, okay, you insert a pipe in this hole and then you push. And I'm like, then a pipe in this hole. And it's like winding it up. I'm like, holy smokes, man.
And if you let go, all that tension is there. I mean, I was on a commercial job site one time and those springs are massive. I mean, this job for this door had a triplex spring. So it was 3 springs in one.
Oh, geez.
And the installer that was up there let go of the winding bar with all that tension on there, and it shot that winding bar through the side of the building.
Whoa.
Like, that's how much force that it has. I was like, if somebody was standing there and they take that in the chest, it's over. And so call us. We'll come out there and we'll fix your door. We'll be safe about it. Don't lose your fingers. Don't lose your, anything like that. Just give us a call. It's super easy.
Yeah, your fingers are worth more than $99.
That's right.
Well, our time is up. I just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's been
great time. And
give us a website. How do we get a hold of you?
Yeah, so our phone number at our office is just 402-590-5800, and our website is doorsplusllc.com.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in. I want to give a quick shout out to Complete Family Dermatology. We appreciate them sponsoring the show. They provide comprehensive dermatology care for the entire family, from routine skin checks to more advanced treatments. And they're not just here in Lincoln, they're all over. They're in Beatrice, Nebraska City, York, Blair, Crete, Fremont, Geneva. I mean, they're everywhere. Go check them out. CompleteFamilyDermatology.com. You've been listening to Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish, and Grow Lincoln is coming up next, so stick around for that.